The demonstration shown in this video is intended to provide an overview of the 3M Series 100 automated integrity test device. For actual operation instructions, please refer to the operations manual supplied with the device or contact 3M Purification Technical Support. The 3M Series 100 automated integrity test device is utilized to determine the integrity of any membrane filter configuration. The following equipment is required to conduct an integrity test. A filter housing comprised of a base where the filters are inserted and a sump that attaches to the base. The Series 100 Automated Integrity Test Device Housing T. It consists of a pressure regulator to control air pressure to the housing, a valve to enable or disable airflow, and fittings for connection to an airline, the Series 100 Automated Integrity Test Device, and the filter housing. Any of these three fittings can be changed if required. A 10, 20, 30, or 40-inch filter, an air source and a liquid source, and the 3M Series 100 Automated Integrity Test Device. Ensuring the successful execution of a filter integrity test is entirely dependent upon two principles. First, the filter or filters must be completely saturated with the desired liquid. A filter is comprised of membrane, and within this membrane are many specifically sized pores capable of holding liquid. If these pores are not filled with liquid, air will pass right through. This will result in a failed integrity test result, when in fact the filter may actually be integral. Conversely, when properly saturated, each of these pores are filled with liquid. This liquid acts as a barrier for airflow. At the test pressure for a specific filter, the amount of air that is able to pass through the liquid barrier via diffusion results in a pressure drop, which dictates the result of the integrity test. The second requirement for ensuring the successful execution of a filter integrity test is the proper assembly of all test equipment, exactly in the manner about to be shown. First, a line carrying the desired liquid should be secured to the inlet port of the housing head, and any valves in place should be in the open position to allow for liquid entry into the housing. Ensure the downstream valve is in the closed position to prohibit flow when filling the housing. This will be opened once the housing is filled with liquid and vented. Next, wet the filter O-rings with water, sterile water, or isopropyl alcohol, depending upon the application and customer regulations. Wet filter O-rings will assist with installation into the housing base. Placing both hands atop the closed end of the filter, lower the filter into an open receptor on the housing base. After proper insertion, be sure to rotate the filter until the tabs on the filter connector lock into place beneath the brackets on the housing head. If any difficulty is encountered during the installation process, please refer to the 3M Purification Technical Training video, Installation of Membrane Filters. Next, secure the housing sump to the housing base. Be sure to have a gasket in place. Then secure the Series 100 Automated Integrity Test Device housing tee to the top of the housing via the 1.5-inch sanitary fitting. Be sure to have a gasket in place. An air source capable of producing at least 60 psi should be connected to the horizontal leg of the housing tee. It is of critical importance to ensure the valve on the housing tee is in the closed state. This will prevent liquid from flowing into the connected airline during the saturation of the filter. The setup is now complete and the filter is ready to be saturated. A filter is flushed with liquid, typically water but application dependent, for 5 to 10 minutes at a constant flow rate of 3 gallons per minute per 10-inch filter. If the filter or filters to be tested are 20 inches, 30 inches, or 40 inches, use simple multiplication to calculate the typical process condition for filter saturation. Alternatively, a customer may refer to specific process conditions for filter saturation as identified by their facility. To begin the filter saturation process, ensure that the vent port atop the housing is open. Then, initiate the flow of liquid into the housing. When the housing is full, liquid will emerge from the housing vent port. Wait for the stream of liquid to remain constant. This is visual proof that all air has been purged from the system. Open the downstream valve and immediately close the housing vent port. Begin timing the flush phase. After the designated time has elapsed, stop the flow and close any valve regulating liquid flow on the inlet side of the housing. Open the housing vent port to allow the liquid in the housing to drain completely. When all the liquid has been drained, close the housing vent port. Move the valve on the housing tee to the open state. This will allow air to flow into the housing, required to execute the integrity test. The saturated filter and setup is now prepared for the integrity test. First, the appropriate test program must be selected from the automated integrity test device. Refer to video segment B, Programming the device, if this is not known. When the device is activated, a series of messages displays, including the latest version information. It will then note the last test program used or display the message Filter Unknown. Press Stop on the device keypad, followed by Start on the device keypad. Then select the desired program number. After the program number has been entered, press the Start button on the device keypad. This is where the user code must be entered. The user code must be a number between 1 and 9999. After the user code is selected, press the up arrow. This is where the status of compressed air to the housing is displayed. Note that the red indicator light is active and the message Compressed Air Switch On is displayed. This is a prompt for air to be introduced to the housing to begin the first part of the integrity test, the stabilization of air pressure in the housing. Secure the Series 100 automated integrity test device via the Quick Connect port located at the top of the housing tee. Be sure to press the device into the Staubli connector until a click is audible. Note that the device can be rotated 360 degrees for viewing at any angle. Initiate airflow to the housing via the regulator on the housing tee. Simply lift the knob on the regulator and turn clockwise to increase air pressure and counterclockwise to decrease air pressure. Press down on the knob to lock the current pressure. The target air pressure is shown on the top line of the device display screen. The test pressure being supplied to the housing is shown on the bottom line of the device display screen. Note that once the pressure is within 0.4 psi of the programmed test pressure, the indicator light on the device will change from red to yellow. At this point, the stabilization phase automatically begins. The remaining time for the stabilization phase displays. It is imperative that the test pressure be maintained at plus or minus 0.4 psi once the stabilization phase begins. Failure to maintain pressure within this range could result in a failed test result, even if the test filter is actually integral. Thus, precise technique must be executed when increasing pressure, and careful attention must be given to the pressure display. Upon completion of the stabilization phase, the device indicator light switches from yellow to red. The message Compressed Air Switch Off displays on the device. Immediately close the valve on the housing tee to isolate the stabilized air pressure in the housing. Alternatively, the stabilization phase can be terminated before the stabilization time has concluded by pressing the up arrow on the device keypad and then immediately closing the valve on the housing tee. Press the up arrow on the device keypad to proceed to the integrity test. During the test, the yellow indicator light flashes and the pressure drop is shown on the top line of the device display screen. The time remaining for the integrity test is shown on the bottom line of the device display screen. Upon test completion, the indicator light on the device switches from yellow to green if the results are within specification. Conversely, the indicator light would flash red if the results were not within specification. The display screen indicates the pressure drop in PSI per minute across the filter during the test and a pass or fail indication. Press the down button on the device keypad to view the diffusion result in milliliters per minute. Disconnect the device from the housing. Note that the device can be disengaged from the Staubli connector by pressing the button on the connector. To print test results, the device, printer, and printer cable are required. First, ensure the printer is loaded with paper. Then, connect the appropriate end of the printer cable to the printer port. There is no need to rotate the connection. Simply align in the proper position and gently insert. Connect the appropriate end of the printer cable to the device. Again, there is no need to rotate the connection. Simply align in the proper position and gently insert. Press the on button to energize the printer. Alternatively, connect the printer to a power source via the included AC adapter. Press the stop button on the device keypad to return to the main menu screen. Cycle through menu choices with either the up or down arrow until the menu choice Print is reached, and press Start on the device keypad. The message Search in Memo appears on the display screen. Use the up or down arrows to scroll through stored test results. In addition to the ID code, information on the display screen includes the day of the month, the numeric identifier of the month, and the last 2 digits of the year the test was executed. Press the Start button on the device keypad to print programming details and results associated with the selected test. Note that Pass or Fail is indicated beneath the header Test Result, midway down the printout. Also of particular interest on the printout is the Details section. It displays actual measured results of the process parameters, stabilization, test duration, and test pressure. In addition, it displays the results previously shown on the device, pressure drop, and filter diffusion rate. Note that the pressure drop is expressed as the actual measured result, whereas on the device it was displayed on a per minute basis. If more specific detail regarding any part of this video is required, please consult the 3M document Running a Pressure Hold Test. Alternatively, consult the user manual or contact 3M Purification technical support.